Hello you guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about why it is important to treat everyone with kindness, regardless of whether they are kind to you or not. We all need people, and if you think you can make it on your own, you're lying to yourself. Even God needs people. For example, before Jesus came on earth, he didn't just show up in Mary's womb like, yo, I'm gonna need to borrow your womb for like the next 9 months. No, he sent an angel to speak to Mary and kind of gauge her reaction, get her permission before he showed up in her womb. When God wanted to set the Israelites free, he didn't open the skies and speak to Pharaoh and said, yo, Pharaoh, let my people go. No, he found a human to do his work, and that human was Moses. And if you look at that interaction with Moses, Moses was hesitant and he didn't want to do it. He gave a lot of excuses, like he was not a people person, or he wasn't a good talker or a good communicator. He said he's a stutterer. He gives so many excuses in the book, and God did not budge until Moses said yes, because if Moses hadn't said yes, God would not have been able to do what he needed to do. So if God needs people to be able to operate here on earth, then we as humans need other humans, because believe it or not, all our destinies are intertwined. God blesses people through people to people. Basically what that means is that everything you need, another human has it. God won't open the sky and drop money. There are way too many millionaires and billionaires out here for God to do that. If you have a need, God will touch the heart of someone to give you what you need. Now, if this is someone you've had a history with, the way you treated them would determine whether they yield to the voice of God or not. If you weren't nice to them and they choose not to help you, they're justified, and God will not hold it against them, because he said, treat your neighbor as yourself, which is another way of saying be kind to everyone. So if you broke that spiritual law, then you have to bear the consequences for that, which may require you to stay in that miserable situation for a longer period of time. Treat everyone with kindness. Everyone you meet is not by chance. God brings people your way for a reason. I always say this. Could it be that God sent the answer to your prayer, but you treated them like crap and they walked right out of your life with the solution to your problem? For example, let's say your son is sick. He has been sick for years, and you've been to several doctors and taken all sorts of medications, but his situation is not getting any better. You meet a new person while you're in line waiting for your coffee. You immediately see them and just don't like them, so you treat them no mind. Every time you go to get your coffee, they are always there. You are annoyed and you don't hide your annoyance. If they try to make small talk with you, you're cold or you're even rude. So eventually they stop trying to talk to you, they even just stop trying to interact with you. But what you don't know is that they had the disease that your son has, and they too tried many doctors for many years until they found out about a Ayurvedic medication, or like different type of herbs which they combined and took it, and it cured them of that disease. It's not a very popular solution, so a lot of people don't know about it. If you had been nicer, made small talk with them, with the amount of time that you guys ran into each other, a conversation would have come up, maybe relating to your son, or they would have told you about how they used to be sick and now they're cured. And you would have found out everything you needed to know so your son can be healed. But you rejected your advances, and because life works in seasons, they either moved away or got a new job, which means that they found a new coffee shop and you're never going to see them again. Your son will probably not get better anytime soon because the medicine he's taking is not curing him, it's simply managing his symptoms. And when you pray and ask God, why? Why is this happening to me? And God will tell you, well, I sent the solution to your problem. That quote-unquote weird girl from the coffee shop, she's the one that I sent to come and help you. But you didn't like her, so she left with the answer to your problem. Here's the thing, guys. Sometimes that thing inside of us that makes us immediately dislike someone may not be our intuition. It could just be the devil trying to get you to hate someone who can make your life easier. I hear a lot of people talking about intuition, like, oh no, my intuition is always right. They be dating the craziest guys. Your dating history is a train wreck. You mean to tell me you have intuition when it comes to friends and intuitions when it comes to other things, but your intuition just dies every time an asshole walks into your life? I mean, every guy you've dated is a jerk. But no, you have intuition. Sometimes it's not intuition. Sometimes the devil is just playing games with you. That is why we need to have the gift and the spirit of discernment. We need to be able to look at people and look past their physical appearance, because people are not always what they look like. And sometimes that first initial reaction that you get when you meet someone may not always be right, because at the end of the day, humans are very shallow and very judgmental about looks. So sometimes a person's looks can just turn us off to that person, but you don't know what the person is carrying, and you don't know what they can do for you. You don't know how they can change your life. Guys, I will repeat again, nobody that you meet is by mistake. Nobody that you meet is by chance. Especially people that you run into repeatedly, that guy you keep seeing on the train, or this person that you keep seeing in town somewhere. There's a reason why those people keep popping up in your life. That's why you need the gift of discernment, the spirit of discernment, to be like, why do I keep running into this person? Who are they? How am I connected with them? What is their purpose in my life? Talking about this, I'm reminded of another good example in the Bible. This woman in the Bible is simply called the Shunammite woman. And she was a married woman, but she didn't have kids. Now, this prophet in the Bible, the prophet Elijah, every time he would come into town, he would stop by this lady's house. This lady didn't know who he was, but she would feed him and she would give him a place to stay, and then the next day he would get up and he would leave. And then one day she spoke with her husband and she said, honey, I perceive in my heart that this man he's a man of God. Let's build a guest house for him so that every time he comes in town, he's going to stay in that guest house. So they built a guest house for him, and the next time Elijah was in town, he slept in that guest house. And then one day he called his assistant and he said, look, this woman has shown me so much kindness. What do you think I can do for her? And the assistant said, oh, her and her husband, they're kind of old, but they don't have any kids of their own. His assistant went and called her, and then she came, and Elijah said, by this time next year, you're gonna have a baby. And she was like, yo, dude, look, my situation is hopeless at this point in my life. There's really there's no solution. Don't give me hope. He's like, don't worry about that. By this time next year, you're gonna have a baby. And as God will have it, by that time next year, she magically got pregnant and she had a baby. And the baby grew up, and then when he was around like 10 years old or something like that, he got sick one day and then he died. He just got sick and died. But because the woman, his mom, that woman she kept that relationship with Elijah over the years. They had a good relationship over the years. She didn't cut him off, nothing like that. She went to see Elijah. When she came to Elijah, she said, did I ask you for a baby? I told you not to get my hopes high, because it was impossible for me to have a baby, but you prophesied anyway, and I ended up having a baby, and now he's dead. Elijah was like, what? The baby is dead? Elijah got up, he went to the lady's house, and he prayed over the baby, and the baby came back to life. If this woman had not discerned in her heart that Elijah was a man of God, her and her husband would have been childless for the rest of their life. Sometimes what people can do for you is not materialistic. There's some people out here, believe it or not, their energy, their aura, the power that they carry can literally change your life. They can speak one word, and it happens. Because there's some people that have so much credibility with God. Whatever they ask God, He does it, whether you believe it or not. Have you ever met those people that anything that they say happens, and you're like, oh my God, you're so lucky? Like those people that anything that they open their mouth and say happens. It's not luck. It's a type of relationship that some people have with God. And sometimes those type of people, they may not have money, they may not have resources, they may not have connections, but they have their words. They can open their mouth and bless you. They will tell you, listen to me, from now on, it shall be well with you. Everything that you set your mind to do will succeed. And once they open their mouth, you realize that things are just moving well in your life. That's the kind of person that Elijah was. So when he spoke and he said, by this time next year, you have a baby, it happened. Because he had that kind of power. He had that kind of power where, like, when he speaks things, it just happens. Not everyone has that. But the Bible said that she discerned that he was a man of God. You have to discern everybody that comes into your life. We need to stop this thing where, oh my God, I just don't like her, I don't know why. That's rubbish. You don't realize how you're killing yourself. You're making your life harder just by hating someone. How can you hate someone you don't even know them? How can you dislike someone you won't even spend time with them? You won't even get to know them. You just know that you don't like them. That's evil. That's devilish. That's the devil playing you right there and you're listening to him. That's why people are so stuck in miserable situations for years. They cry themselves to sleep every night. And God is like, that girl that you just don't like her. That guy, he's so weird. Why is he looking like that? He has the solution to your problem. And you are here, I don't like him. And then you're here crying to me every night. I can't help you. Because the people that I've sent to help you, you have rejected them. Stop trying to reject people without getting to know them. I'm just so tired of seeing this. I see people in so many terrible situations, and it will be the people that are so mean, they're so evil. Everybody has left them, and then they cry to God every day, like, God, nobody is around me, like I have no one to help me. And God is like, are you kidding me? Look at your attitude. Look at the way you talk to people. Look at the way you treat people. You treat people like they're disposable. You treat people like they're trash. And you think that your life is going to go anywhere. We live in a world where you need people to get to places. If you don't know how to treat people, you will be stuck where you are. Believe it or not. Be careful how you treat people. Be careful how you treat people. Be careful how you end relationships. If a friendship is becoming toxic for you, find a way to end that toxic without, quote unquote, burning a bridge. You don't have to call them names, and you don't have to call them out of their names. You don't have to call them trash. You don't have to, you can sit the person down and tell them why you just feel like this isn't working. You wish them all the best and you move on. No matter how they react to it, no matter how they treat you, you end it in a friendly way. Because at the end of the day, it's better for you to be blameless in the eyes of God. Because when you're blameless in the sight of God, God will be like, you know what? She did nothing to deserve that. So if that person is hardened, if their heart is hardened, God will be like, listen to me. You have no reason not to help this person. And God can actually turn their heart around to come and help you. But if they don't want to help you because you were mean to them or you were evil to them, God will be like, well, they're justified in not wanting to help you. The Bible says that as long as it depends on you, be at peace with everyone, which means that you always try to be nice to people. You try to be kind to people. If someone is beefing with you, you don't have to be beefing with them right back. You don't have to attend every argument that you're invited to. Be kind to everyone. I'm telling you, you don't know the people that you meet. You don't know who they are, their caliber, who they will be tomorrow, how you will need them. The way that you see people today is not who they're going to be tomorrow. You don't know what you're going to need tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Life works in seasons. Life works in season. A good example is the sun and the earth. The earth is always rotating. So when it comes to our part of the world, the sun shines bright. It's day in our time, but it's nighttime in another part of the world. But then the earth will keep spinning, which means that very soon we'll be in darkness and somebody else will be in light. When you are in light and somebody else is in darkness, how do you treat them? When someone is low in their life, they're going through a hard time, they're going through a difficult season, how do you treat them? Because trust me, your day is coming. When you are down in the gutter, do you want people to be like, oh my goodness, when I was low in the gutter, they picked me up? Do you want people to pick you up? Or you want them to walk all over you, or to step on your neck, or to spit on you while you're on the ground? Be careful how you treat people. Your destiny is tied with someone else's destiny. You don't want to have to treat your destiny helper like crap. That person who can connect you to that thing that you've always been praying for, and then you meet them and it's that person you bullied in high school, or it's that person that you talk crap about one way or the other, or is that person that you did something wrong to, and that door is closed in your life for another 10 years, 20 years, 30 years even, because you mistreated someone. Be kind to people. Be kind to people. There are 4 types of people that we need in this life. 4 types of people. Number 1, divine connectors. Divine connectors. These are ordinary people who do not have the power to change your life, but they can connect you to those who can. These are regular people like the cleaning lady, or the janitor, or the random guy on the street passing out flyers. Or it could even be your friend or your coworker. This is just regular people who don't have power or influence or nothing really extraordinary going on in their life, but they know of someone who can help you with what you need. Maybe that cleaning lady who cleans your house. Maybe she also cleans the house of a very important CEO who has the connections that you need for your business or something. These are people who know people who can change your life. That idea that you have in your mind and that person that you need to make that dream come true, your divine connectors know those people. And like I said, divine connectors, they're ordinary people that you meet every day. But the way that you interact with them will determine whether they give you the information that you need or not. Those people don't know that they have what you need, and you don't know that they have what you need. You only find out these things through a relationship, through communication. If you're nice to them and you interact with them and you show them with kindness and you build some sort of bond or relationship, after a while, when you start to communicate and there's a trust there and you open up a little bit, then you get to find out about each other's lives. You find out what they have, and then they find out what you have and what you need. Before you know it, they're like, oh wait, I work for this lady, her husband is a CEO in this company, and blah 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 blah. Boom, before you know it, she connects you to that person and your life is changed forever. But had you looked down on her, oh, she's a cleaning lady, I don't talk to the help, God will be like, oh, you don't talk to the help, you will be stuck. Your dream will go nowhere, because that person, they may be quote unquote the help, but they are the ladder that God has placed in your life to be able to go to the next level in your life. They are the ones who will take you from point A to point B, and the way that you treat them will determine whether your dream goes anywhere or not. And honestly speaking, they may not be the only divine connector that you will meet, but if God brings one divine connector your way and you mistreat them, the next divine connector can come back in your life in 10 years or 15 years or 20 years or 30 years. You don't need to wait longer than you need to. You just need to be kind to people. A good example of a divine connector in the Bible would be Naaman and the little slave girl that worked for him. There was this big, military commander in the Bible. He had leprosy. This was a skin disease, and it was incurable. And he had tried, obviously, many doctors, but he didn't get the cure. There was this little slave girl who worked in his house, and she realized that he had leprosy, and she went and spoke to her mistress, which was the wife of the military commander, and said, oh, I know of this prophet in Israel who has been known to heal people from incurable diseases. Tell your husband to go and see him. And the wife went and told the commander. The commander went to see the prophet. The prophet prayed for him and told him what he needed to do, and he got cured. A slave girl, a little girl, she was probably 9, 10, not more than 12 years old. And she was a slave girl. She's the one who changed his life. Divine connectors. These are ordinary people who can connect you to people who can change your life. Divine connectors. The second type of people that you need are men of access and influence. These are people who actually have the power to change your life. This is the CEO or the billionaire or the millionaire who has the money, who can, who has the money and can give you the capital that you need to start your business. With divine connectors, they connect you to someone who can help you. Men of access and influence are the connections. There are times you do not have access to certain places. You will need someone who is already at that place to speak for you or vouch for you. Many people do not know this. In business and politics, building a track record for yourself sometimes will take you a lifetime. That's why you need someone who's already there, who has that credibility, who has that great track record to speak for you. Think about in elections. When someone is running for elections, many times the candidates that are coming up are people that we don't know. But then you have a past president come out and endorse them, or a famous politician endorse them, or a famous celebrity will endorse them. It's hey, you may not know them, but I know them, and I'm placing my reputation on the line, letting you know that they are the real deal. So when you are endorsed by people like this, you ride on the coattails of their credibility to get to where you are. So you need men of access and influence. And these people are not just going to come out here and give you their word of approval. There needs to be a relationship there. There needs to be some sort of bond. You must have created a relationship, trust, somewhere. It still goes back to treating people with kindness. Because at the end of the day, if you treat these men of access or influence with disrespect, they're not gonna endorse you. So it's important to treat people at every level with respect. The third group of people that you need are gifted people. These are people with gifts and talents that can get the job done. The best corporations in the world have mastered this. They will pay the best price to get the best people with the best talents, the best gifts to get the job done. Because at the end of the day, you can have that dream in your head and you can visualize it and envision it and this and that. But at the end of the day, you're going to need people who can make it happen. People who have the skills to be able to bring your vision to life. And the gifted people that you're going to come across may not necessarily look like they're gifted. When you look at someone, you don't know that they can code. You don't know that they can sing. You don't know that they're the best party planners you've ever met. You don't know that they can organize things. You don't know that they can do this or that. Like I said, most of these people that we need don't look like what we think they need. The gifted people that you will come across will not look like, what we expect them to look like. But these are the people who will take your dreams and turn it into a reality. At the end of the day, when Mark Zuckerberg came up with the idea of Facebook, I don't think that he knew how to code. I could be wrong. I don't think that he knew how to implement all these changes. He just talked about the features that he wanted Facebook to have, and then guess what? Programmers and developers and different IT technicians got together and created the code that would then turn into Facebook. And then every time he wants to make a new update, he'll go, "Oh, I want them to be able to like and dislike and reactions or whatever." It's the gifted people on his payroll that are able to bring that idea into reality. So at the end of the day, you need gifted people. And many companies have grasped this idea. When they have talented people that work for them, they pay them good money to keep them. Because those are the people that are making your dream a reality and keeping that dream a reality. You never want to lose gifted people in your life. You need them because they can get the job done. Skillful and talented people will use your skills, gifts, and talents to help you achieve your goals and your dreams and your purpose in this world. You need people to get the job done, and that's where gifted people come into play. So treat them well. Treat them well, because if they walk out of your life and they leave that vacuum in your life, you will feel it. You will feel it. If gifted people walk out of your life, you're going to end up doing things that they should be doing for you. You end up doing the job of 5 different people. One gifted person can do the job of 10 people because they're gifted and talented that way. They can multitask and do many different things at the same time. But if you mistreat them and they walk out of your life, you're going to be stuck doing the work of 10 people. But because you're not gifted the way that they are, it's going to be a huge burden for you. And you're going to be stuck doing that for years until you learn how to treat people well. It's especially important, especially with people who want to be CEOs and own their own business someday. If you do not know how to treat people well, I'm sorry, your business will go nowhere. Because your workers, your staff are the ones who are going to help make your dream and your business a success. And your customers are the ones who are going to make you money. So at the end of the day, you need people, and you need to be able to treat them well for them to be able to help you. The 4th category of people that you need are called burden bearers. These are trusted and faithful people who will stay with you through storms. They will stay with you through challenges until your glory is revealed. These are people, they may not have any gifts, they may not have any talents, they may not have any money, they may not have any connections or resources, but they are loyal. And they are loyal to you. These are the kind of people that you call ride or die. Lately, we use this word very loosely. But burden bearers are people who will stick with you through the worst seasons of your life. When you're crying, they're crying. When you're sad, they're sad. When you're depressed, they're depressed. That's how much they love you. They will stick with you no matter what. If you're having a rough day and you feel like you can't make it, they will leave work and they will come and sit with you until you're okay. They will spend the night at your house. They'll cook for you. They'll clean for you. They'll iron your clothes. They will do anything that they can to make sure that you get through this season of your life. If you just had a baby and you're going through a hard time, maybe you're a single mom, they'll come over. They'll be like, yo, anytime you need someone to babysit the kids, I'm right there. If you need help with the groceries, or if you need help paying your bills, if you need help with anything, I'm there. It's like whatever you need, what you need. These are people where it's like, when they find out that you're struggling, they're like, dude, you mean to tell me your house is about to get repossessed and you didn't tell me? Like, how much is your mortgage? How much are the payments? These are people, they'll sell their cars. They will sell things. They'll move money around to help you. These are burden bearers. They bear your burdens. They carry your burdens. People like this, they are rare. They are rare, and they don't necessarily always look like what we think that they are. They don't necessarily look like the type of friends that we want to have. I've realized in this life that the people that we reject on first look or first appearance or first impressions are sometimes the best people that we could ever have in our lives. I've realized that some of the best friendships I've had in my life were women that I looked and I was like, oh, heck no, I could never be friends with her. She's too loud, or she's too out there for me, or she's too noisy or chatty or something like that. I've said that a few times in my life, but as life will happen, I kept seeing these people and I just started talking to them and getting to know them. And I realized I really liked them. And then when some really hard seasons of my life came by, the people that I liked, or the people that I considered quote unquote my friends, were not there for me. It was these people that I was like, I don't think I want to be friends with her. She's too out there. Those were the ones who saw me through the darkest seasons of my life. I remember with one of my friends, I was like, I had prayed and I asked God, like, God, I need you to reveal this person to me. Her personality is not really the type of personality I like to be friends with, but I don't want to judge her based on her personality. Reveal to me her character, reveal to me who she is. And that night I went to bed and I had a dream, and we were like in this like road or something like that, and there were thorns on the road, like thorns and like prickly objects on the road, and I was barefooted and I didn't have any shoes on, and I was about to walk all over these pointy things on the road, and this my friend showed up out of nowhere, and she carried me in her arms and walked through the thorns with me. My feet never had to touch the ground because she was carrying me. I woke up that morning and I was like, God, thank you. Till today, she's one of my bestest friends, man. Has been there for me through thick and thin. So sometimes our burden bearers, the people that are going to be really there for us, true ride or die friends, they're not always the people that you meet and click with immediately. First impressions is a lie. I don't believe in first impressions, because people are more than that first impression. There is more to a human being than that first interaction. You don't know if you met them on a bad day. You don't know if you met them on, if they receive bad news, or they just weren't themselves. You don't know that. You have to get to know people first before you make an impression. Your burden bearers, the people who quote unquote carry your burdens, they are rare. They are rare. Not everyone. Like, your burden bearer is that person in your life that you can call them for anything and they'll be there. You could be in jail and be like, dude, I'm locked up and my bill's like $20,000. They'll be like, say no more. They'll be there. That's where burden bearer is. Your burden bearer, you could be dying in the hospital and you need a kidney. They'll be like, oh, say no more. I'm there. What you need, my kidney? You got it. That's where burden bearer is. And not everyone has that. But burden bearers are formed through relationship. Somebody's not just going to walk into your life and decide to give you a kidney. There needs to be a friendship there. There needs to be a relationship there. I'm going to reiterate and say that there are 4 types of people in your life that you need. Divine connectors. These are ordinary people who do not have the power to change your life, but they can connect you to someone who can. Men of access and influence. These are people who are the connection that you need. They are in a position of power and influence, and they can change your life. And then back again to these men of access and influence. Nowadays, in this age of social media, too many people are liberal online with the way that they talk to people, especially the way they talk to celebrities and like politicians and famous people. That person that you've created a hate group against, you don't know when you might actually need their help. That celebrity that you bash every day and you've created a whole website bashing them, you don't know when you're going to need them. Men of access and influence, we need those people. Don't bash nobody online. Don't trash no celebrity online. Don't be a troll. Guys, treat people with kindness. The third group of people, gifted people. These are people with the gifts and talents that can get the job done. They can bring your dream into a reality. And burden bearers. These are trusted and faithful people who will stay with you through the storms and challenges of life. I'm going to end by saying this again. Treat people with kindness, because you don't know who that person that you meet is carrying on the inside. You don't know what they have that you need. You don't know how they can change your life. So be kind to everyone. Treat everyone with respect. Like I said, you don't have to attend every fight that you're invited to. And like the Bible says, as long as it depends on you, be at peace with everyone. There are some people out there who hate you. You don't have to hate them right back. There's some people out there who are beefing with you. You don't have to beef with them right back. I always say this, I don't have no beefs with nobody. I'm kind to everyone. It doesn't matter whether I feel like talking to you or not. I put a smile on my face. I say good morning. A good morning causes you nothing. Small talk causes you nothing. Being kind causes you nothing. Seriously, a smile is free. Just put that smile on your face. I do that because I know that there's so many people out here that my destiny is connected with them. And God forbid, I don't want my destiny to be delayed because I was mean to someone, because I was rude to someone, because I didn't feel like being bothered by someone. Plus, at the end of the day, people are humans and people are feelings. Too many people are killing themselves out here because they feel rejected and they feel unloved. Don't be one of the people who adds to that feeling of rejection. Be one of the people who adds to that feeling in their heart where it's like, oh, maybe there's hope after all. Maybe I'm not dejected. Maybe, I'm not unlovable after all. Smile, be kind to people. They say everybody that you meet is fighting a battle of their own. A smile that you give someone can change their day drastically, can change their life drastically. Be someone's hope, be someone's light, and show someone love. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.